The treasure of luck. This happened long ago. There was a flood in the river Huang Ho and many houses were destroyed. The young man Bang and his father also lost their hut. They had to leave the village. Both the father and the son used to earn their living by working in the fields of others as laborers. But since all the people in the village had been reduced to misery, there was no point in their living in the village. As they were heading towards the city, the father took seriously ill. He died, but not before handing over a bag full of money to Bang. My son, this is what I have been able to save through years of labor. I had a great desire to buy a piece of land with it. I could not fulfill my dream, but I hope you will be luckier, said the dying man. After his death, Bang settled down in a small hut which he erected on the bank of a river. Soon a piece of land attracted his eyes. It lay barren, though Bang felt that it was quite fertile. He asked a man in the nearby village about the land's owner. Well, it belonged to a poor lady who had borrowed some money from the money lender. She could not pay the money and the land became the money lender's, informed the man. Why is it lying barren? Asked Bang. It is because the money lender is too rich to care for all his property, replied the man. Bang met the money lender and proposed to buy the land. The money lender quoted a high price. Bang pleaded with him to sell it at a cheaper price, but he would not agree to it. However, he was willing to let Bang have the land on the condition that Bang would pay him whatever he can now and would pay the rest afterwards. Bang paid him half of the price of the land. The moneylender wrote out on a scrap of paper that he has sold the land to Bang, but he did not hand over the paper to Bang. I will give this to you only after you have paid me the full amount, he said. Bang did not know what a crooked man the moneylender was. He started tilling the land happily. One morning he was digging a hole in order to plant a tree when to his great surprise he discovered two gold vessels. It so happened that the moneylender was passing by and he saw the vessels. Come on, boy, give me my vessels, he said. Sir, the land is now mine. Whatever is in it should be mine, protested Bang. That is out of the question, said the moneylender. I had buried the vessels here so that they would be safe from the burglars. Today I remembered about them. That is why I came here. The moneylender snatched the vessels from Bang and carried them home. It was believed that one found gold vessels only if the god of luck was pleased with one. The moneylender would be the last person to give up such objects of luck. Bang went to the court and narrated the incident to the judge. The judge was impressed that he spoke the truth, but since he had no document to prove that the land belonged to him, the judge could not pass any judgment in his favor. He summoned the moneylender. He had received numerous reports about the moneylender's dishonesty and greed. The moneylender claimed that he had never sold the land to Bang. He had only allowed him to till it as a laborer. In that case, the vessels are yours, said the judge. The moneylender went away laughing. Sir, does this mean that I have been deprived of even the land? Asked Bang tearfully. Don't worry. Go home and wait to see what happens tomorrow, said the judge with a smile. Early in the morning the next day, the moneylender was arrested. The judge told him, the vessels your servant found in your field are stolen property. They were stolen from the king's household. You are either the thief or the thief's friend. Sir, believe me, sir, I know nothing about the vessels. Bang says that he found them, babbled the panicky moneylender. But he found them on your land. You cannot escape the responsibility. You have to pay for the crime with your head, of course, observed the judge. Sir, believe me, sir, even the land is not mine. I had sold it to Bang. Here is the document, said the moneylender, and he brought out the receipt. Hmm. The judge nodded and said, so Bang found the gold vessels on his own land. That is right, sir, agreed the moneylender. So they should belong to him, like the land, observed the judge. That is right, sir, said the moneylender, scratching his head, which he hoped would be safe. He brought out the vessels. The judge saw the vessels and said, "These are not the vessels which the king has lost." He then handed over the vessels as well as the document to Bang and fined the moneylender for his habit of lying. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.